Hello, here's Standard 5.1. Welcome back to school, ladies and gentlemen. We are a couple days back now. We're going to start with some new material. So, Standard 5.1, graphing inequalities. Standard 5.1, I can graph inequalities on a number line. Inequality is a mathematical sentence that contains the following symbols. So, we have this sign, which is less than, this sign, which is greater than. We're going to take those two signs and add a line to it. These might be new. If we take the less than sign and add a line underneath, that's going to indicate less than or equal to. All right. In the bottom one, we take the greater than sign, add that line, same thing. Now we're going to have greater than or equal to. All right. So think of it as a greater than sign and the bottom line of an equal sign, and that's how we get that sign. Okay. So solution of inequality is any number that makes the inequality true. So let's think about this. What are 5 solutions of the inequality x is less than 2? Let's see what that says. So we want to plug in a number here that is less than 2. So what are some numbers less than 2? Well, 1's less than 2, right? 1 is less than 2. All right. How about 0? 0 is less than 2. What else? -1. Right? How about -1,000? All right. So really, every number that is 1 or less than 1 are going to be true to make this statement. So these are all solutions to the inequality x is less than 2. All right. If we go back to this real quick, a handy trick. Like click the handy trick here for less than and less than or equal to. You know, if you write a capital L, looks like this, right? If I tilt that, let's see if I can get it to work. Tilt that, it can kind of make a less than sign. Think about that when you look at the less than, it's kind of a tilted L. That ought to help a little bit. All right, graphing inequalities. We needed 2 things we really want to pay attention to, and this is going to be a major takeaway from today. We have 2 options. So if you're talking about a closed dot, that kind of dot is going to show the number is a solution. A closed dot is going to look like this. Right? Closed dot looks like that. All right? An open dot shows the number is not a solution. It means that that's the number we're stopping at, but we're not including it. So an open dot is going to look like this. That was weird. There we go. All right? You see the difference? Filled in, not filled in. All right? So a closed dot is going to come when we use signs like less than and equal to or greater than and equal to. An open dot's going to go with less than or greater than. All right? That's how those go. Graph the solution of each inequality on the number line. First, list 3 solutions. 3 solutions for y is less than 4 might be -1, 0, and 1. Those are 3 solutions that would work for y is less than 4. So here's our trick. Here's how you draw a number line. You're going to draw a line with arrows on the ends. Those arrows are important. You have to include them. I'm going to draw one line down right in the middle. I'm going to make that the number that's in the picture. All right? So whatever number is here, we're going to write over here. All right? Then I'm going to look at that middle sign. Let me erase that real quick. I'm going to look at that middle sign, and I'm going to decide, is this talking about an open dot or closed dot? Well, this is the greater than sign right here. And we talked the greater than sign goes with the open dot. So I'm going to go back and draw an open dot at the number that's listed. And then I'm going to draw an arrow up and the direction that indicates less than 4. So you remember on a number line, we might have 4 here. We might have 3 here. We might have 5 here. All right, so 3 is less than 4, so I'm going to draw an arrow this way. And one good takeaway is if your letter's on the left, your arrow is going to match this thing, right? See how I could take that and put that there? See if I do, let's do another one, do blue. There's your arrow end, right? If I take that, I can move it here and it matches the sign, right? So that arrow sign, if the letter's on the left, it's going to match it only when the letter's on the left, otherwise it's not going to work. All right, let's go to the next one. Here we have one, x. Let's see. Here's x. is less than or equal to 10. So numbers that are less than or equal to negative 10 would include, let's see, how about negative 15, negative 12, and negative 10. Negative 10 is equal to negative 10, so that works. I'm going to draw a line down here, negative 10 here. I'm going to go on this side, I'm going to go up one, so negative 9. This side I'm going to go down one, negative 11. That's good enough. You want 3 numbers on every number line. I didn't say it on the last page, so you don't remember that. I'm going to go back, I'm going to look at my sign right here. That means a solid dot, so I'm going to put a solid dot on the number in the question, and then I'm going to go up and to the left. That's going to get every answer that fits those numbers. Right? Let's do another one. Oh, we can go the other direction. Hey, look, here's one of those inequalities. We can now write an inequality like this for these. So let's start. We're going to start. I'm going to do it in blue here. We're going to be x. I'm going to need a sign and a number. Well, the circle's around 0, so my number is 0. Right? Then I'm going to look at that circle. I'm going to say, is it an open circle? So I might want to use less than or greater than. If it's a closed circle, I'm going to want to use less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. All right? So that looks like an open circle to me. My x is on the left, so my arrow is going that way, so I'm going to have a line going that way. X is greater than 0. And that's true. Look, 2 is on my line. 2 is greater than 0. It's a way to check. The next one, x down here. My number is negative 1. I'm going to always do those two first. Solid dot, so I want to or equal to. My arrow is going to the left. So x is less than or equal to negative 1. Negative 2 is less than or equal to negative 1, so we're going to include that. All right, so remember, first we're going to write our letter. Second, I'm going to write my number. Third, I'm going to figure out the sign. That's the best way to do it. All right, to write an inequality to describe a real-world situation, remember, at most means less than or equal to. So at most means the biggest it can be is the number they're talking about, which means it can also be anything less than or equal to. At least is the opposite. It's greater than or equal to. No more than means less than or equal to. No less than means greater than or equal to. All right? So at most or no more than both mean less than or equal to. At least and no less than equals greater than or equal to. So let's take a look at that. Here's two real things that you might see. Speed limit is 55. We need to ask ourselves, can I drive more than 55? Well, you can drive more than 55, but if the wrong police officer sees you, they'll pull you over. It costs you like $175, and it can make your insurance go up, so it can cost you even more over time. So you really want to say, no, I cannot drive over 55. So I know I'm going to do S for speed limit. S. 55 is our number, so I want something that indicates that I can drive less than 55, but no more than 55. Well, there's the phrase. No more than would be less than or equal to 55. Because I can drive 45 there, right? You probably don't want to drive 25 there, but you know, technically, you wouldn't get a speeding ticket. It would be a different kind of ticket. Next one here, who likes roller coasters? Here's an example. You must be at least this tall to ride, 48 inches, right? So we want to say that no kids under 4 feet can ride these rides safely. All right, so we want to say tall. The number is 48 inches, right? Can you ride it if you're 36 inches? No. Can you ride 28 inches? No. So we want a greater than. But if you're exactly 48 inches, you can. So we want to include the or equal to. So you have to be you have to be tall, greater than or equal to 48 inches. You might want to do height. Might make more sense for the letter, but that's it there. All right, you have homework here. Homework's going to look like this. Look at that. Here you're going to graph, so we want you to draw a number line and then fill in your number line. Then down here, you're going to have graphs. You want to write out your inequality, write out your inequality letter, number, and then your sign. All right? On the next page, you have two real-life situations. Hey, this one, we did that in the notes, so if you wrote your notes, it might make it easier. Write out inequalities. Down here, we want you to use these words to come up with your best inequality and then also graph. So these are tricky. Just do your best on these. A number C means C is at least 12. 12 is at least. You got to come up with that sign, okay? here's your answers. Your answers should be compared to this before you turn it in. All right, thanks.